And what is up, mother puckers? We are back with a bit of a different format here. So for our final episode here, we are going to be discussing the Stanley Cup Playoff bracket. I am Michael, and I'm joined with my co-host and our new friend. If you guys would like.
I am Luke. I am the usual co-host.
I am Vincent, and I am an unusual human being.
That he is.
Inside and out of this room.
Definitely true. Vincent doesn't know anything, knows a little bit about hockey. Luke has his own opinions. I'll be sharing mine as well. And so we're just going to get right into it. As of filming, the first round is underway, so by the time this comes out, some of these picks might already be wrong because the playoffs might have already finished for these rounds. But first round, we're looking at the Eastern Conference here. I'm starting with the team that I don't think belongs here, and that is the New Jersey Devils and the Carolina playoffs. And I am immediately going to say that New Jersey is getting out. I think they're going to get swept because I think out of any team, they do not deserve to be in the playoffs currently. Thoughts?
Well, New Jersey might not be as good. I think they deserve it. I also do agree that they're not going to make it past the first round.
I think Carolina has been a great team for years, as well as Jersey also suffered a lot of injuries. And to be honest, they're not much without the Hughes brothers. And now I believe both of them are out. Jack Hughes was out prior. I believe Luke Hughes got hurt in either Game 1 or Game 2. So they've lost some key players. And I don't think they're going to be able to sustain. They started a losing streak going into the playoffs, and I think they're not making it past this round.
I think Carolina can make a little bit of a push.
We'll see about that. I mean, my sister thinks that Luke Hughes is very attractive. So that was like their big edge. And my sister's gone to a couple New Jersey's Devils games this season. She thinks they're really great. So naturally, I think there is a bit up in the air. But as you said, they've been injured, which definitely takes a big toll on everything. So I guess I'd probably go like Hurricanes in 5, but it's anyone's game.
Yeah. Hughes brothers, they are beautiful. They are.
Yeah, I do.
Quinn Hughes as well from
A
Vancouver.
couple attractive men.
Very
attractive.
3 attractive men. 3 attractive men.
All right.
Going into the next pick here, I have the Capitals and the Canadiens. The Canadiens had barely squeezed in right at the end. It was a big playoff race between them and Columbus. Capitals, big force to be reckoned with. Alex Ovechkin, as well as almost getting the President's Trophy. Winnipeg ends up claiming it. And I'm saying a lot of people think Montreal is going to be the underdog. I do not believe that they are going to be the underdog. I think the Capitals are good for a reason, and I think that they're going to win because of that.
Yeah, Capitals are very, very good. Canadians are a young team. They might be able to take a couple games, but no one else wanted that last playoff spot. And I think Montreal was an unlucky team stuck with it.
Yeah, definitely. It was a hard grab between them and Columbus almost squeezing in. But I think when you just want to compare skill, yeah, like you said, Montreal, young team, they don't really have too many big players that I think are going to help. And Alex Ovechkin right now is kind of on a warpath, breaking the record. And obviously to be able to get the cup would be amazing for them as well.
I don't really agree with you. Anything you're putting on Montreal, I don't agree with. I think they're a very sloppy team. Throughout the entire season, they've been on and off. Again, young, inexperienced. You don't really know what you're going to get from them. On top of that, I believe in Manifest Destiny. Ovechkin just broke the all-time goals record. Took it from Wayne Gretzky. He's a really amazing player, and I personally just think it's in the books. You know, it's in the cards. I don't think the Washington Capitals are going anytime soon, and I find it crazy that you would even think it's a competition.
Wait, so you do agree with me? I said the Capitals are winning.
No, but you were saying it might be close. I don't agree with that.
I think you said they might get a game or 2.
Yeah,
I don't agree with
think
that.
it's going to be.
I
I don't
don't
think it's
even
going to
think they're
game
getting a game.
7. You don't think they're getting a game?
They're not getting
I
a
don't
game.
believe they have one currently. I don't believe they've won one. I think Capitals are leading 2-0.
I mean, Lane
Yep,
Hudson's
and
the
that's how it's
best
gonna
rookie
continue.
defenseman ever. So, I mean,
Yeah, for now.
Maybe. And then moving on, we have Toronto Maple Leafs and Ottawa Senators here. This game, I picked that Toronto is taking this because I think they might have finally been able to escape the curse of having Boston beat them the first round, which kind of plagued them for a couple of years. And now I think they have a good shot. I think they're a good team. And I think Ottawa is a team that I really didn't hear much about during the season, I felt like.
I think Ottawa's not a great team, but the Maple Leafs curse is a second-round exit. So they
Second
always
round?
win the first round, which they will this year. Next round, no.
You don't believe in the second round?
No, it's the second round exit.
Maybe if it was like a pure-blooded American team facing them, but since it's Ottawa, I just don't see it happening just yet. Of course, Toronto fans can never
Canadian
have.
face-off here.
Yeah, that's pure-blooded Canadian red and white. But I don't really think the Maple Leafs have anything in them. They're a cursed franchise. There's that type of team across every single league, no matter where you go. They're never going to have any real joy. They're kind of sad to look at. Their fans spend their nights crying alone in bed, eating ice cream. But for this specific moment, I think they're okay. I think they got this round over.
Yeah. They've had a long Stanley Cup drought, as well as the entirety of Canada has a 31-year drought. And you're speaking about America. I don't think it's more America than the Battle of Florida here, which is the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Florida Panthers. Florida Panthers are the current Stanley Cup champion from last year. Tampa won it twice just a couple of years ago. Both very good teams, despite living in very warm areas where you don't think they would be. But I think Florida is coming back, and I don't think Tampa Bay is going to make it. I think Tampa Bay won. They just traded Stamkos. Obviously not as good as he once was, but a big factor for them in those Stanley Cup wins. Florida is still hot, still fresh, and still has a majority of that Stanley Cup team from last season.
Florida is a wagon. They are unbeatable, and they just continue to get better. Florida in 5.
You know, I don't even think they're going to get 5. I think the Lightnings are frauds. You know, they've never done anything good. The last time they won a championship, it was because of some oversights involving injury and the salary cap. They had a lot more people on the team than they should have had. The whole playoffs that year was very fluky and rigged, and I don't mess with it.
A lot of teams have done that. Vegas is guilty of it as well, who also won.
And that's why Vegas isn't here yet.
Not yet.
We're on the Eastern Conference.
Is when we get over to our next area here, the Western Conference, which I'm going to start down. LA and Oilers. I'm going to say this. The Oilers are frauds. They should not have made it as far as they did the first time last season. They should not have been in the Stanley Cup Finals. For me and for everyone that I knew, it was very apparent that whoever won the Eastern Conference was winning the Cup. So really, the actual playoff Stanley Cup match for me last year personally was Rangers versus Florida, because the Oilers just kept on barely making comebacks. I think it went to Game 7 multiple rounds. I'm going to say that they're not going to make it. LA has been strong.
I stand by that. That makes sense. You know, I mean, I think every once in a while you have a team make it really deep in the playoffs and you go, how'd that happen? Like a couple years we had the Islanders make a deep run and then they were all talky, yappy for a while about how good they were going to be. And then they fell off in a very sad way. And now I think this, I will say I don't agree with the pick here. I do think they're going to make it one round in, if only because I believe in positive juju, positive voodoo, if you will. And the LA Kings, I mean, who had Wayne Gretzky first? Think about that.
True. Obviously, Oilers still have some great players with Connor McDavid and Draisaitl, some generational talent there, but they also have Stuart Skinner, who is maybe the worst goaltender in this entire playoff round.
LA's goalie isn't much to speak of either. Is it Cam Talbot and Darcy Kemper?
Cam Talbot was traded, I believe, last season.
I don't even know who the Kings goalie is.
Their main. But if you've seen, they've done 2 games so far, and they have been very high-scoring games. So both goalies are honestly bad, because I believe their first-round game was 5-6 in overtime with LA winning, and I want to say last time was 6-2 with LA winning as well. Both goaltenders not really able to lock it down.
Mick Jesus, you have Draisaitl, and the Nuge. Name a better top 3 than that.
But who else is going to help? It's just the issue is goaltending. The issue is Skinner is dodging these pucks. He doesn't want to even try to stop them.
Popeyes, Five Guys, Red Eye, Oilers in 6.
6. Well,
good take.
Yeah, they trail by 2 currently. Vegas and Minnesota. So Vegas, I'll put them back up. Good team, strong, but I think Minnesota is a young team, and they've never won a cup before. I think they are starting to pick up a lot of steam, and they're going to be a surprise team that you're not going to see making it too far, that actually is going to do pretty well.
A final hurrah for Fleury,
It
possibly
could be.
while he rides the bench against his former team. I don't know if I completely agree with you. I think Vegas is also a wagon. I think Vegas will win the series.
I think Vegas is a very strong team. I think Minnesota is going to fight, and I think it's going to be a tight game, maybe even do a Game 7 where, like, similar to kind of how the Oilers scrape by all the time. I think they're going to push through because they have a lot of young talent and a lot of good players for them currently.
If you'd remind me, who's hosting Game 7?
Who's hosting Game 7?
I believe that would be back in Vegas.
That's back in Vegas.
That would be Vegas.
And I'll tell you what, if you've ever been to Vegas, I've been to Vegas.
I have not
and I like
been
to
to
gamble
Vegas.
when I go to Vegas. I'm not always going to be in the game. That's the big thing about home court advantage. So naturally, I would probably take Vegas in 7 if it does get that far. That being said, I don't think it's going to get that far. Minnesota in 6.
Minnesota in 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll have to see about that. Now I believe we are moving on to Winnipeg and the Blues. Winnipeg President's Cup trophy winner. And, oh my God, I messed this up again. Okay.
Wow.
Let's just skip to
What's
this.
going on with you, man?
Blues are out. Blues are out. That's what I'm skipping to. Blues are not winning this. They the President's Cup trophy. They started off with a 14-game winning streak, and I think they are coming in strong. I think Hellenbuck is making a strong case for the team and definitely helping out. He did fall a little bit in the playoffs, but they're still doing good so far.
He fell in the playoffs, but when he uses that stick, it's a work of art. It just kind of amazes me seeing a guy go out there hard on the line and throw his body and soul onto the ice. You know, if we're talking who wants a chip, this guy, he wants to win the whole thing, and he can will his team to it. And I'm not normally in favor of Canadian teams, but this guy, he's got it going on.
Yeah, strong team. Started off with a strong 14-game winning streak, as well as he was goaltender in the USA versus Canada game. He's chosen for the Four Nation faceoff, so he has been, I think, just a good player.
I
Has
think
a
the
good
best
season.
American goalie we've seen in a while, and also the best goaltender season we've seen in a long time. Vezina, that means not yet. Vezina trophy winner, possibly, means he's the best goalie in the league. Also, I think he's got a strong case for league MVP as well. Things he's done for that team are insane. I do agree with your pick.
Okay. Obviously, I already eliminated it, but I'll go back. Dallas and Colorado. I don't believe Colorado is going to get too far. I know Dallas went into a losing streak beforehand and definitely had some trouble, but I think Dallas, the entire season, has been a good team, as well as last season made a great playoff run then and had very good chances. I think they have a strong case to make it.
I disagree. I think Colorado will win this series.
Really?
I think when you've got Landeskog is finally back after like 3 years out. You've still got McKinnon. Natchez has played great. You've got Cale Makar. Name a better defenseman than Cale Makar. Oh, wait. You can't.
I think you can.
And the
Michael.
goaltending's been solid.
Name a better defense player.
I'm not sure. In the playoffs, I'm not sure. There's some other good defensemen, obviously Quinn Hughes and Adam Fox
Is his
a little
team?
bit.
Are those
but
teams in the playoffs?
No, they're not.
Oh. Well, in that case, I'd like
rest
to
my
argue,
case.
how important is defense?
Very.
Defense is huge, especially when you have teams, like I said earlier, that have bad goaltenders. The biggest thing is going to be defense, so that way you're not letting the other team just layer shots in, because then you get what is currently going on with the LA and Edmonton series, which is just 5-6, 6-2, massive scoring games.
Mm-hmm.
And then we are down to our final ones here. So firstly, I have Dallas going even further now. Despite your guys' pick, I
Hey.
think Winnipeg is going to make a good case. Yes.
I actually thought Dallas would go really far.
You think Dallas is going far?
I think with Luka being traded, they need a win.
Wrong sport.
Whoa.
Wrong sport, buddy.
Hey, Dallas is miserable right now. Luka,
The state of Texas.
The state of Texas needs a win.
Needs a
Dallas,
win.
Dallas is more ready than ever.
Like I said, a good team, and I know I said everything about Winnipeg, but he has also had some tough times, Hellenbuck, in the playoffs currently. And as much as he had a great season, can he hold it for the entire playoff run? I'm not so sure about that.
And you've got that President's Trophy curse
Yes.
to look out for. But instead of Dallas eliminating the Jets, it should be Colorado instead.
You believe Colorado is going to eliminate the Jets?
Colorado's a wagon. Every team is a
A
wagon.
lot of teams are a wagon to you. I'm going to be honest.
Every team is a wagon. But
True.
the
but
Avs are the wagon of the West.
who's driving the wagon?
Cale Makar.
Hmm.
He's the
Neat.
captain of the wagon.
I don't know if I messed with that statement.
Next up, I have the Capitals getting out too. Yeah, I put both of our major teams getting out. I think Carolina they're just a crazy, like, they've been a good team all around and for quite a few years. You know, while Capitals randomly picked up this season, they did not have a great playoff run last season. And with Alex Ovechkin, it's going to be tough. He hit a hard playoff drought last season, especially. I think he's going to hit it again. And without him, I don't think there's too many other big players for the Capitals.
I agree. I think the Hurricanes are a team that plays a complete team game, and they are very deep and they are very good, and they have a decent chance of winning the whole thing.
You know, I'd say so. I mean, they have a couple big stars on their lineup. I think they're very good at getting the puck into the goal, which, as you know, is a very impressive thing to do in the game of hockey.
It's the most important part.
Yeah, and they're really good at that. I think they're pretty good, but there are some teams that might be better, and we'll get to it.
Yeah, Carolina also is not going to be facing a tough round before this, so they're going to have, I think they're going to have a bit more rest time, actually, because I think they're going to beat the Devils earlier than the Capitals series might be going.
True.
And then I also have, like I said, I believe in Minnesota, and I believe that they are going to go even further, and I believe they're going to take out LA.
I do not believe in Minnesota or LA. I think
You believe neither of them.
I think neither of them are as good as you're thinking. I am not drinking that Kool-Aid. I have
It's not always
the
about
Vegas
what
Golden
team.
Knights
Okay.
beating the Edmonton Oilers in 6 games.
It's not always about what team is the best. All right, playoff times comes, and those lower teams, those wild card spots, they can pick up randomly.
Or they can get thrown around, which is what I predict the
Or they
Minnesota
can get
Wild to
beat
do.
up.
I have to disagree.
I don't know
Nick
about
Jesus.
that. Ooh.
Yeah,
They're
but
not
he
even
couldn't.
ma-
He
they're not
couldn't,
even
Nickname
making
is
it.
Jesus.
They're not even making it past the first round.
he couldn't get it done last season.
I mean, yeah.
And I know that
They've got one more year of experience under their belt.
But is that going to be enough?
I believe so. I believe in McJesus,
You believe so?
just like I believe in the real Jesus.
Okay. Moving on to our final pick here, Florida and Toronto. I think the Toronto curse is a lie. I think
Are you?
Toronto is going to go even further. I think once they make it past that first round, once they finally don't lose to Boston, because Boston is not somebody that's going to stop them now, they're going to be going on a crazy run.
I disagree. They have bad goaltending. They can't get to the the goal. And overall, I just don't think they're coordinated enough. They're tired. They're weak. They just got through a whole season of play. And honestly,
So did Florida.
yeah, but Florida's not cold, are they? These guys have to play in Canada. If I had to play in Canada, I'd probably be playing terrible. And not to mention, it's Toronto. Nothing good comes out of Toronto.
But being cold is the whole point of hockey, so I feel like that would benefit them as opposed to Florida.
But the point of being a human is to be in a room temperature environment where you won't freeze. So to constantly be in the cold, upstate, is a very dangerous game to be playing.
I feel like that would help them adapt,
I'm just saying.
honestly.
Look at your-
Florida, they go out into warm weather right afterwards,
Right.
right after a game, and they go suntanning.
Ooh, so you're saying they might debrief. Okay, that's a tricky situation. I mean, 2 of your final 4 teams, they're from the South. They know what it's like to suntan. As you mentioned earlier, we had the Battle of Tampa Bay, the Battle of Florida. A
Yeah.
lot of these warmer teams are starting to come out of the cracks and prove that hockey is a sport for people from the South.
You're not wrong, but is it time for Canada to finally win a
No.
cup and
No.
take it back?
No.
No.
The Panthers are the wagonest of wagons. They are the most wagon team we have seen in a long time. And the Maple Leafs curse is real. They're a sad team. No cups since
I
1967.
believe in miracles.
Pathetic team.
My
Don't
professional
believe in miracles.
opinion is that miracles do not exist except for that one time in 1984
I believe in
at
miracles.
the Olympics
I
when
believe
Al
in-
Michaels said it. But the Maple Leafs are going to die with a whimper.
No.
Panthers in 6.
I believe in miracles here. I believe they're going to go even further. On top of that, I think they're going even further after that when they face Carolina.
Boy.
Boy!
Boy.
What?
Boy.
You're wrong!
You're wrong. You're wrong, and you know it. You know
I
it.
don't think so. I think Toronto is going to just keep picking up steam, and they're going to ride this victory into the finals.
Except for Mitch Marner, he's a baby boy, and he can't handle playoff hockey. I think that's a team of weak little boys, and they can't handle the physicality of playoff hockey. The Hurricanes, that's a man's team. They're tough. They play a team game. They've got the goaltending. Hurricanes.
I'm so confident. I'll bet $5 they don't get past the second round.
Who?
That team, Toronto, they're not getting past the second
You
round.
don't believe the Maple Leafs are getting past the second round?
They're not getting anywhere.
So you're saying this is going to be a complete USA
USA on
Every
top.
year.
Every year.
Every year.
every year?
Since 1993, and it will continue to be that way, especially if the Maple Leafs are Canada's representative.
I think they have a good shot right now. Think they picked up, and another pick that you're not going to be happy with. I think Minnesota is going to go
Oh, wow.
all the way.
We're just making picks now.
It should be Vegas going all the way again, not Minnesota.
Like I said, I think Minnesota, they're
Vegas
a young team.
has some-
They have not won a cup, and I think that's going to fuel
Vegas
them.
sold their soul to the devil. They always perform in the playoffs.
Vegas cheats.
You know,
yeah, exactly. That's why they're winning the whole thing.
That's true. I will say cheaters do win a lot. Look across all sports. It happens all the time. The Lightning did it a couple years ago. Big cheaters. Tom Brady got 6 rings. Complete garbage. And not to mention, just think about all the cups Minnesota has won and all the championships they've won. They don't win anything. Yeah, the Twins got a couple. Minnesota Timberwolves. They're horrible. Go to the NFL. Minnesota Vikings. They are horrible. They've lost so much.
Lost 4 straight in the 70s.
Oh, they did. And this team right here.
So do the Bills.
Look at that logo.
That was in the 90s.
You think that's an iconic
Yeah.
logo that can win a championship?
I think that is. It's a beautiful logo. What's
No,
wrong
I
with the
think
logo?
It's terrible. I don't even know what they're doing.
It's so
It's
cool.
a bear and there's trees.
It's a
and
bear, there's trees, there's a star.
I think they're
sun.
doing too much.
That's the North Star from
Yeah,
Minnesota.
North Star.
Oh, that's really cool, actually. Still
The
bad
team
logo.
name used to be the Minnesota North Stars.
Oh,
More you know, fun fact for you
more
there.
I know.
With the star shooting past.
That being said, if you want me to go between these two, what are your picks?
Between these two, well, I'm getting to that. I want to say, I think Minnesota not winning a cup before is actually going to fuel them. I think Fleury is at his end, and sure, he's going to just ride the bench, but I think he's going to motivate the team as well. Even if he's not playing, I think he's still going to motivate people. It's his final season, one of the best goaltenders there is in the league. And then Toronto, I think they make a big push, they get confident, and now finally, I mean, last season there was a chance too for Canada to win it all. Fight between, will Canada take it back? Not only that, will Toronto break their massive losing streak? And I'm going to say, no. I'm saying Wild all the way to win the cup.
I do not agree with even the matchup. It should be Vegas versus Florida, Stanley Cup Finals. Florida going back to back in 7 games.
You think Florida is going to go back to back? I just feel like those picks are kind of simple, as they're both recent Stanley Cup winners. I think it's.
Yeah.
I think these
Vegas-
teams are going to pick up.
Florida is the best team I've seen in recent memory, and they are even better in the playoffs. They are so unbelievably deep. Everyone on that team could be an all-star. They've got the goalies, they've got the defense, they've got the offense. Vegas, same thing.
Michael, you're a dreamer, and I like dreamers.
I am.
But sometimes you got to get back into reality. When Michael Jordan won his 5th ring, what did he do? Tell me.
I'm not.
He went and won another ring. And I'm telling you, this team, Florida, they're out for blood. When you look at the look in their eyes, the fire in their eyes, you know they're coming back. But even if you weren't going to pick them, you go with these bums. These guys.
What's wrong with Minnesota?
They
They're
wouldn't
a
know a
young
hockey
team.
puck if it hit them in the face, which it probably has a lot.
I think you're wrong. I think they're a good team. I think
I don't know. Personally, I don't even think these guys are getting.
Florida also hit a bit of a losing streak right at the end of the season, might I add, and they started falling down places a little bit.
They got it out before the playoffs. You
Yes,
know?
they still managed to get into the playoffs, obviously.
I think Marchand will will the team to get his final ring before he sails off into the sunset.
I do not care
Bold
about that
prediction,
rat.
Brad Marchand retiring at the end of the year.
I don't care about that rat. I
He
don't
will
care
will
about
the
that
team.
man.
Him and
Also,
his giant
all of
schnoz.
Florida's rats, all the Panthers, they're all rats, but especially,
Him and his giant schnoz are going to will the team to victory.
no.
So in conclusion, Minnesota Wild, the wagon of all wagons.
I think Minnesota, I think it's going to be an underdog team. That's my thought. Underdog, scooping Cinderella story right here. And they're going to break Canada's spirit yet again, and Toronto, and get those fans excited.
I don't even think Toronto will make it. Neither will Minnesota.
So you believe Florida. Your final Stanley Cup prediction?
I'm going to go with the Las Vegas Knights. And then, what's a team in the other conference? Name one.
Do you need to see the...
Show me.
Yeah.
I already know them, but just to be safe.
All the way back.
So we're going to go
This is the
Las
final.
Vegas Knights and put in the books Florida Panthers.
You need to go all the way back for that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't...
I just needed to go all the way back to make sure. I just had to make sure the Panthers were in the running. Because they're not beating the Knights, but they're definitely getting there.
You don't think they're going to beat the Knight. Now that is a
The
crazy
Knights are
take.
winning it all. Well, they're my favorite team.
Since when?
Since now.
Okay.
Okay.
He's just a bandwagon, all right? We all know why.
Hey, you know what?
We all know why you're a Titans fan.
I can't. Hey,
We all know
bro,
why you're a Titans fan.
I
And you're
can't
trying
even
to do the
say-
same thing again.
Hey, listen. The Titans
You're
are
trying
the
to do
worst
the same
team.
thing.
They are horrible.
Yeah.
I like suffering. It's my favorite thing to do.
But you got lucky one time that
When
they
did I
won.
get lucky?
That they
In
won.
my entire life, including this moment, never.
You got lucky to be here. To be on, I allowed you on the show.
And
To-
now
to
you're
spout
bullying
this,
me.
To spout this madness.
And you're
to spout
harassing
this
me
madness
on
that
your
Vegas is
own
going to
show.
make it all the way.
You know what?
So
All this
much
stuff about
better
Vegas-
than Minnesota winning.
Listen,
Then
listen, you're looking at me going, Vegas is going to make it all the way. You put the Wild in there.
Wild is an underdog team.
You're
I
wild.
don't believe
Hey,
you.
You know what? We got to wrap this up.
Okay,
'Cause
you're
I'm,
right.
I'm just tired of you.
I'm going to lose my mind.
I'm going to go grab a drink.
Okay, you heard it here first, guys. Minnesota, Florida, and Florida. 2 wrong picks, 1 right, 1.
I said Las Vegas.
Oh, Las Vegas,
Come on.
my fault. Florida, Las Vegas, both wrong, doesn't matter.
I'm more right than you.
And that's going to be all the time. Thank you. Thank you for watching our show. This is going to be the last episode of the semester, so thank you for the support, and we hope you all have fun.